Good afternoon everyone, welcome to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Okay, we're back here with the little XK A160 J3 Cub, and I just wanted to show you after the little unplanned arrival that I had with this on its first flight. It landed somewhere over there. There was no damage to it at all. These struts here, they just popped out and they popped straight back in. Likewise with these struts here, they're more decorative than they are structural, so if they do come out, don't worry about it too much. Okay, we're going to go for another little flight, and I may put it into 3D mode. The wind is a little bit lighter than it was when I flew this for the video, and in addition I now have my microphone, so hooray for that one. Okay, here we go with a second flight of the XK models or XK Innovations A160 J3 Cub. Once again, I've got it in high rates. This really is a dinky little plane, you know. Perfect for a day like this. I would say the wind is around about 5 miles an hour, and you get in the odd gust up to around about 11, 12 miles an hour perhaps. Now this is a turn with just the aileron. On the flight controller, the aileron is already preset to give the amount of turn to coincide with the ailerons. I forget the term that is used. But you can't even hear it. It's lovely and quiet, lovely and quiet. It's been buffeted about around by the wind there. A little bit of whistling there coming through as the wind passes the struts. So we're going to reduce the throttle to about a quarter there. And just raise that again. Lovely little flyer, lovely flyer. I mentioned in my last video blog that I believe the Spanish warehouse where I got this from has now sold out. I don't think it's as a result of my videos, but I think there was only a few left when I ordered mine. So as far as I'm aware, it's a Banggood Chinese warehouse for the time being. And I think, given the way things are at the moment with transportation and shipping, it's probably worth you paying the extra few quid to pay for a proper air parcel and get it delivered quicker. That way you can be sure that at least you have some calmer days like this in order to fly it. What a lovely, delightful little flyer, absolutely delightful. We're operating just under half throttle, I would say. Let's come in a bit closer, shall we? I'm just giving a little bit of an up elevator to help the turns be just a little bit tighter, but you don't want to put up too much elevator. As I found with this one, given a good chance, it will spiral in. Hopefully I won't demonstrate that to you today. There we go. you go, just proving that I can do right hand turns as well. That's lovely and quiet, isn't it? Absolutely lovely and quiet. Right, I'm going to take it up to a bit of height and I'm going to put it in 3D mode. Now, how that's going to cope with the nominal C of G that I think is on here, I don't know, but we'll find out. If it doesn't go well, I'll quickly put it back into 6G mode. Okay, here we go, 3D mode. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, I've taken that out of 3D mode. Not entirely sure about that at the moment. I imagine the type of person who's going to buy this is probably someone a lot younger than I am who might want to learn. So putting it into 3D mode is probably no in terms of learning. The only thing a novice would learn on this, putting it in 3D mode, is how to crash it quickly, like I just nearly did there. But the wind's getting up now a little bit more, and I suppose we're looking about 8 miles an hour, and this little craft, well, it appears to be going very, very well. I suppose we've been up in the air now for 5 minutes, so the battery's holding out well too. I did mention that I had 2 initial flights, one of which spiraled in and one of which you saw on the video. The battery life, I think, was just about over 10 minutes over the 2 flights. And I understand there is a comment on one of the videos that says battery life is 6 minutes. Well, I think it's going to be more than that, especially if you fly around sedately at half throttle. Obviously, the less throttle you use, the more flight time you're going to have. All in all, lovely flyer, lovely, lovely, relaxing flyer. I don't think under 6G mode this can do rolls. I'm going to give it full throttle, full elevator, and see what we can get out of it. Yeah, no, it's not going to, the flight controller is not going to let it overly bank or climb. Okay, we're down to quarter throttle there. It's going with the wind, so obviously there's a bit more speed. And I'm going to bank round to the left. We're now coming into the wind. Flying hands off. You can see the stabilisation system there. It's fighting with what little wind there is just to keep that level. It's doing a very, very good job. Staying virtually same height as well. Okay, let's come around to the right. Power on the throttle a little. And I can't even hear the hum of the electric motor. Okay, right, I think that'll do for the second flight. Let's bring her in while we still got a bit of power left, and see what we can make of a second landing, if it's anywhere near as good as the first one. I'll be quite happy. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? Not from a little model like this on this type of surface. Hello everyone. Right, okay, a bit of bonus footage for you if you like. I forgot that I bought my spare 7.4 500 volt battery for this little plane. It just happens to be exactly the same size, weight, what have you. I don't think it's designed for this model, but we'll give it a little test anyway. In addition, it's going to be a little bit a bit of a high wind test. The wind has got up now. That cloud's starting to roll in now. It looks a bit on the thundery side, or certainly warm and sultry. I've got it in high rates in the 6G mode, so it's also a good test for my new microphone. Hopefully that's going to deaden some of the wind noise which has been plaguing some of my previous videos or recent videos. So here we go. Well, you might be able to hear in the microphone that wind has picked up a bit, and we're looking now at about, I would say, around between 10 and 15 miles an hour, which I'm going to make a bold suggestion is probably a little bit beyond the scale of this little park flyer here. But having said that, seems to be doing quite well at the moment. And although you won't be able to see it here, the rudder is making coordinated movements when I activate the ailerons. Ideal for high wing aircraft. Okay, I don't want to get it too far. Being a small model, you're only going to see a little dot in the sky, and I'm sure you'd like to see a little bit more than that. So try and keep it in closer if I can. What I might do is tag this video onto the end of the second flight video that I've done. As you might be able to just about hear the little motor there. Come on in, let's make a right turn. And the wind is fighting against that wind. For a normal size aircraft, let's say something at 1500 millimeter, 1600 millimeter wingspan perhaps, it would think nothing of this wind strength. But this little thing, given that it weighs 145 grams as well, is fighting quite well. Little burst of full throttle there. I wouldn't recommend keeping it full throttle for more than 5 seconds. I'm not sure on the amperage, but I wouldn't of the speed controller, but I would imagine it's not going to be that much. Nevertheless, it's still doing very well given the wind strength. I don't know about you, I've been very surprised to make 2 3-pointer landings in a row with this little thing. I think I mentioned before, if you've got a youngster wanting to fly, yes, I'd suggest that this could be a good little model. I would have initially suggested something like a AXN floater or the Sky Surfer. They are excellent models, and they're rear mounted pusher motors, so even if you do crash, you're not going to damage the most important part of the airframe, which is of course the propulsion system. The wind's died down a little bit now. Excellent little flyer, well worth the money. I think I mentioned before that all the struts, the landing gear struts and the wing struts, they're all designed to pop out. So if you do have a little accident with this, don't worry, they just pop straight back in. And being so light, it's going to add to the resilience. I think you probably have to fly this into a brick wall at full speed before you do any really serious damage. And you could argue that if you do end up being in an unfortunate position of crashing this beyond repair, you can use all the electronics for another similar size airframe, I suppose. You've got a servo for, you've got 4 servos, speed controller and a motor. So all won't be lost. And of course, you've got the flight controller hooked up to this transmitter. So if you had a similar airframe, I don't know, a Killcraft high wing plane, let's say you wanted to convert for RC, could easily slot into here, minimal weight. Right, let's bring you in for another landing. We go around one more time. And before you get all dizzy, we'll go round right hand. And let's see if we can come in for a landing. Okay, so the throttle is nearly all the way down. Just a quick burst. Come on in, off we go. Wow, 3 times in a row on this little thing I've done a 3-pointer landing. Full size, yes, you would have been scared, wouldn't you? But it's all down in one piece, which is a good thing. So I'm going to bolt this video onto the existing one, or the one I've just done. As you can see, quite well detailed. All this stuff just pops out, as you can see here. It's just for show, really. It's there's no structural integrity with even these, actually, because there's a spar that runs along the wing. But all in all, excellent little flyer, quite well detailed. I do like the engines, as I've mentioned before. So until our next video, stay safe, be good, and we'll see you then. Goodbye for now.